So today we're going to start a different project. And this is something I've been thinking about for quite a while. And today's the day we're starting. So over the years, I've grew up with honeybees and I've had honeybees for many years. And it is a challenge. They don't like to, but they often die or leave the hive or something. It's a real problem. And this year, I suspected that I was going to lose my hive. I only had one, and it's dead. So this is a really good opportunity. I'm going to take this opportunity to revamp how I do my bees. And I decided I'm only going to try to have one beehive. But step one is going to be, I am tired of these styrofoam frame or boxes. They're okay, but the mice are terrible on them. This is what happens. They get in there, they chew on them. I don't know. It seemed like a good thing, but for me, it just didn't really work out. And I have lots of lumber. I can make my own. So what I am going to do, I am going to make them different though. So typically, it's one layer of wood, and the edge, by the time you have frame area here, it's about 1/4 inch of pine is typically what's left right here. And what happens is, I've seen this over the years, is as the boxes age, this tends to get broke because you're prying up trying to get these out. And then you have a hole in here. So that's a hole for bees to come in and out. It's a area for mice to get at. So that's one. So I'm going to do away with that. I'm going to do double thickness of wood. So 1.5 inches thick on the outside. So even when you have the frames edge setting in here, you're going to still have 3/4 of an inch of wood. I'm also going to build them out of poplar because that's what I have. Nothing against pine, but that's what I have, and it's a little stronger. So we'll do poplar, 1.5 inches thick. I'll have to make an area to hold on to them, so there will be a little gap here where it'll only be one board thickness, but that'll only be to get your fingers in. So the other thing we're going to do different. So here's the wood we're going to start cutting, ripping these all smooth, getting them all straight. And I have a lot more. This is just to get started with. I have a lot more of this sort of thing. Okay, let's walk outside because that's another key factor. Okay, so I had 3 beehives. Never could keep them alive. Then I took one down last year because bugs got in it anyways. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these 2 apart. The bees are gone. I'm pretty sure there's honey in this one. So whatever honey's in there, we're going to take out and extract. We're going to move these. We're going to flip these so they go up. That way this is clear here. So then we're going to have our board coming down here, our siding strip like we did on the other side. We'll have one here, and one over here and there. So I think what we're going to do is put the beehive right in this area right here. So it'll be, part of it will be below the chimney here. We're going to make it probably this tall. Now the one thing I'm not sure about, I did think about having it so I could flip the roof up. Now if I decide to do that, then I better put it over here because it would fit between here, right where this one is. And we'd be able to flip the roof up, or at least not flip it up, but have it up and then with a latch, kind of like a car hood. So that when you're working on it, you're not hitting your head on this, because that is one of the flaws in this design. Now, I did this to stop the bear from tearing it apart. So this worked, and we need to do this again. So it will have the bear deterrent spikes on it. But what we are going to do different is, this one was not tight against the building, and it had gaps. So, and there's gaps on the bottom, and there's stone on the bottom, so the mice can crawl right up in. So we stopped the large animal attacks, but we did not stop the small animal attacks. The mice have a field day in there. They get in there, they build nests on top, they dig into they build nests all over. They're probably in there right now. Who knows what they're doing? And whatever they did, we're going to have to, I mean, if they built a nest on top of honey, we're not going to be able to save that. So this time, there can't be any way for mice to get in. It needs to be totally able to stop the mice and to stop the bear. So large animal and small animal. We probably can't stop ants, but I don't think they've been a huge problem. We're also going to raise up the bottom some so that it's not quite as low. It'll be a little bit easier on the back to lift the bottom ones. I'm also going to do, to make it solid, I'm going to have to do one big piece of maybe granite countertop, a leftover piece, so that when the boards are down, it's tight. There's no area for mice. I'm going to make the front tight too, so only bees can go in and out. Okay, so we're going to take these two apart. We're going to turn it into one, even better. Put a different roof on. So we're going to do a lot of work on this. And it's kind of cold out today, so I want to build some bee boxes. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is, for the bee boxes, they typically have two sizes. I think it's the 10-inch and the 6-inch or something like that. I'm done with the big ones. They're just too heavy. Even these little ones are heavy enough. When you fill this with honey, it's enough weight. So I'm only going to build this size, which means I'm going to have a bunch of frames. I'm going to have extra frames, so I'm going to have to see if my brother would like some. Some of these are no good. Well, they're not the greatest. And is plastic frames the best? I don't know, but since I got them, I'm not going to get rid of them at this point. But we are going to switch to the smaller frames for lifting. Now, one of the problems is I have a bunch of big ones, and see how dirty they are? So I don't know, can these be cleaned up for reuse? I'm not sure. I need to investigate that. And you can see something like this and this. This is where mice did it. I'm throwing them away. Okay, so major bee cleanup time, I guess is what you call it, and rebuilding the boxes.